architectural dragon photograph was taken by a family member on a trip. And there's a lot going on in this picture, but I want to make sure that we highlight the dragon. That will be my focal point. So I'm going to do some masking on the dragon itself and possibly some areas just to keep my bearings on where the stairs are and some of this statuary. So here is the drawing that I have, and I'll be masking kind of all around it. I'm doing quite a bit of masking, but a lot of this is just for my convenience of making sure that I don't really lose the drawing. I'd like to use a kind of energetic ink flow on it, and I'm afraid I'll lose some of the details if I don't mask them. For our Chinese dragon staircase, I'd like to put a whole lot of color in here and in kind of a random pattern. So I've selected some kind of brighter versions of some of the colors in here. So this is the sandal, cloudy blue, red pepper, citrus, sunshine yellow, and sunset orange. And I'm just going to drop them, splatter them around, and let it dry flat. I'm going to leave it with a lot of empty white space and just let these colors merge together. So this is our finished background, and the colors blended together, and it has a really cool pattern. So now I'm going to take the masking fluid off and figure out what we have underneath here. So here's the piece with the masking fluid taken off. I'd like to leave as much of the ink here as possible. So I really want to just do enough painting that we know that this is a dragon and we have a staircase and the structure, but try to leave a lot of this just left in the inky state. So I'm going to start with some slate, and I think I'll put in the darker parts of the dragon. There's a funky part of the picture. It looks like this tree is growing out from behind the dragon, which I think will make for a very strange looking painting. So I think I'll just continue it, and we'll pretend that it's coming out of the pot, because that's a little bit odd. I'm going to use the slate also for this area of the post. I'm starting by keeping the background color in and just kind of integrating it. We'll see if I need to change my mind about that later. And I'll do the same for the planter. I'm adding in the tree. Use the cotton swab, the pointy one, with the alcohol and lift out some of the stairs and step area, probably down here as well. This is a sepia pen. I'm going to draw in some of the details of the face. I'm going to put in some of the darks for the face with the eggplant. I'll continue around the painting, adding some more darks. For the lighter stone values in the dragon, I'm going to use the latte. Which doesn't look a lot different than the slate. This is the pink Sharpie, and I'm going to use that for some of the details on the dragon and the stairs. To add the scales to the dragon, I'm going to use the pointy swab and lift them up with alcohol. I'm going to draw in some of the spines along the back, and that'll help me paint them in. And there's also a line. It's really probably more of a white line, but this is the cloudy blue. I'm going to paint in under the dragon here. This is meadow. I'm going to clean up around the stairway here. This is the darker brown marker. It's going to make it easier for the dragon to stand out if I darken the background in this area. To blend that in, I'm adding some red into it. I'm going to blend in some of the rest of the area behind the dragon. This is some more orange. And some of the citrus. Use the cotton swab to lift out the rest of this tree. And we'll add leaves with the meadow. Some more orange, add it to the pot. And some more blue. And do some lifting. Adding a few more darks. And some more lifting. I'm going to try the marker for some of the scales. And I'll use the cotton swab to do some highlighting in the dragon. Use the marker here. That's pretty bright pink. I'm gonna go over it with some red, and then I'll go over it again with the brush or the cotton swab. I'm gonna take a pass around with the black pen. And a little bit more lightning. I'd like to fill in a little bit of this area and this area, and I'm going to use some ink and the canned air. So here it is with the mat on. I'm going to do a little work to break up some of these places and then see where we're at in terms of finishing up. lift back out this pedestal. And brush back in. And the orange. I'm going to add some red into here. Use this gray marker and darken some of these trunks. And I'll be lifting them back out again as well. And I'll darken some of this underbelly. And we'll add some of the scales back in. And a little bit of lifting. I'm adding some lighter green leaves. This is the kind of a yellow-green marker. This is the white pen. I'm going to whiten his teeth a little bit. And maybe a few other little bits of white.